So here we have a 1955 Shakespeare model number 1770 model FF. So that makes it 1955. And this is one I think you can use in a variety of different configurations, but seems the easiest to me would be as an underspin. And for a right-handed person, the underspins, I prefer to use the left hand to wind. Little bit better, I think, than the Wright and McGill Freeline in that it actually does have a little drag here. Okay, and it does have this feature which you can use to hold the line to cast instead of having to grab it up here, although I still think it's probably a little easier just to grab it up here versus trying to get your thumb or finger in there when you're trying to cast. But I've got it on a vintage, probably contemporaneous, old whippy rod. I mean, this one's really whippy, and whippier than most, which is going to be an issue with regard to setting the hook. It's even a little hard to cast, it's so whippy. I think the retrieve rate's a little bit better than the Wright and McGill, but after that experience, I think I'm just going to bobber fish with this one and see if we can catch. I don't think this reel's ever been used. I mean, there ain't a scratch on it. It wouldn't shock me that basically the newer Spincast reels with anti-reverse and push buttons and all that started coming out, and this was new old stock and just kind of went out of vogue. There were better reels available, but there's not a mar on this thing. So it may have never caught a fish before, and if it catches one today, it'll be the first in decades. So in this one, to release the line, you have to turn the crank back about 1/8 of a turn or so. So go back like that, and there you go. So you really sort of have to whip this thing to get a good long cast, and then you lose your accuracy. But that thing is just whippy, more so than many of the vintage reels or rods, which some would call whippy. I don't have a problem with, but this one's somewhat problematic. It's going to take some getting used to. Got these yahoos out here running their speedboat, making all kinds of waves. So at least for this application, I'm finding it a little best just to kind of put my finger there, turn this back, and then cast it like that. Now, maybe other applications, where you're doing longer distance or you don't need as much accuracy, maybe there's a better way, but that's working right now. You really got to yank them if you're going to set the hook with this whippy rod. That's for sure. And he's clean to me. I'm going to try using my finger in the hole there this time to cast. See what happens. Not too bad. A little bit better. I'm stuck on, I think I got a fish, by God. I thought I was stuck on the bottom. I hope he didn't swallow it. Oh yes, he swallowed it. Well, there's the first fish on the 1955 Shakespeare Wondereel, number 1770. Well, it's actually a red ear. It's a little red ear. Lepomus microlophus. That's one reason why I almost never use live bait. I'm a catch and release guy, and rarely keep anything, and I just hate to have them swallow the hook and potentially kill the things. There's a little bite, I think. I've got a lot of weight on there. That bobber's barely floating, so I should see the slightest of bites. There was a bite. Well, I bet she swallowed it again. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Hopefully not. Yep. Another red ear on Shakespeare 1770. There's a bite. Oh, I got it. Hopefully he didn't swallow it. Look at that rod bend on that little bay fish. Hey, finally one that didn't swallow it. Here now, here. Another red ear on the Shakespeare 1770 Wondereel 1955. Well, let's see if there's any others hiding in there. Okay, so that tension on the line caused it to bind up a little bit in there, as is often the case with Spincast reels. Oh, take my eye off it for a second. Probably cleaned me. Not entirely. There's enough of a nugget on there for another fish. Hopefully you can see that bobber. Trying to keep this kayak lined up is half the problem. There he is. And another red ear. Little guy.